Hello and welcome. You're watching NewsX and I'm Shivani Singh. Zimbabwe on Tuesday advanced to the Super 8 stage of the T20 World Cup after their decisive win in the Group B clash against Ireland, which was in fact abandoned due to persistent rain. A result that also knocked former champions Australia and Ireland out of the competition. With both sides sharing a point each, Zimbabwe moved to 5 points, which is enough to seal qualification. They are set to open their Super 8 campaign against India on February 26th in Chennai. Having missed out on the 2024 edition, Zimbabwe became the 7th team to qualify for the Super 8s. Completing Group G1 alongside India, South Africa and West Indies, they will wrap up their league engagements against co-host Sri Lanka on February 19th. Let me introduce the guests who are joining us on the broadcast. Mr. Sunil Yashkalra, cricket scholar, John Nyembu, who is a former Zimbabwe cricketer, and Noel David, former Indian cricketer. Thank you so much for joining NewsX to discuss the World T20 World Cup. Mr. Sunil Yashkalra, I hand over the baton to you to hold this discussion forward.
Lovely. Thank you very much for including me in your show. But the most important thing today, I welcome two of the best of spinners internationally to have played for India, Noel David and John Nyembu. The best part about John Nyembu is that he holds the record of getting out, guess who? Faf du Plessis, AB de Villiers, maybe Amla on his debut. John Nembu, is it good? Is it fashionable to be a Zimbabwean in the stand and the crowds in the cricket field?
Uh, Thank you very much once again for having me on your show. Always a pleasure and a privilege, to be able to talk about the sport that we love, cricket. And what a time to be Zimbabwean, yeah? I mean, I'm getting messages from everyone around the world who knows about my affiliations with Zimbabwe, and it's a good time. I mean, good times are here. We've endured quite a bit, and when things come to this point and enjoying the position that the Zimbabwe cricket team is in now, you begin to marvel and are excited with the current events that are happening at the World Cup Super 8, and also looking forward to see what the team will do when they face the big guns and in the next stage of the competition.
Well, absolutely. Big guns you're talking about. We also have Noel David. Noel, what's your summation of the entire? How do you sum up the first part of it? Now the big boys are going to take over. Your views? Then we get on to all the questions that my team has put together.
I think this start of the group stages were fantastic. You could see some upsets. You could see some nearly finishing to the line. The match against the Nepal and the England is much talked. Where the Nepals really fought hard to and maybe they've lost the game, but they won a lot of hearts from a lot of people around the world. Then the upset of the Zimbabweans who upsetted the kings of the T20s and the world cricket. The Aussies, the men in yellow. What a game that was, and not surprised. It was not a fluke. Let's be very honest. Zimbabweans defeated Australia. It was not a fluke. They showed it against the Lankans again by beating them in their home ground. Now that's what the Zimbabweans are. I think if John also remembers the cricket which the Zimbabweans played much before to now, I could see that similarity. The guys' hunger to play for the country, which they lost in between because of home politics and all that. But these guys have come a long way, to get that cricket, and entering into the Super 8 is just fantastic. We could see the Indians, or no, not we cannot talk much about the Indians because we all know what kind of team it is. A team which has a lot of superstars, a team which has the best all-rounders, the best opening pair, Abhishek Sharma, Ishan Kishan, the fast bowlers, Mohammad Siraj, Bumrah, and all these guys are there. Leaving that, you talk about the Pakis, all the controversies which were surrounded with all that what they had, before they can come into the tournament, the not playing and all that. But entering into the Super 8 also is a remarkable thing for them. Whatever is it, whatever we say about the Pakis, they are also the great fighters. They love the cricket. Yes, when it comes to the crucial crunch times, they fumble a bit, but they are one team which unpredictable. You cannot say on the given day they are they can beat any sides. So I think this Super 8 will be fantastic.
Well, absolutely. Yeah. John Nyembu, let's start with the first reason how and why Zimbabwe has been doing so well. Fearless batting at the top. You've got Brian who's been smashing this leather ball so hard that it reaches in the power play to the boundary inevitably. Your views. First is that. Second is you've got chin bowling as well. That's the second reason. You've got to just take our viewers through for the ones who don't know the meaning of shub shub and castle corner. We can take them through with your smiles. Go on. The choice is
Yeah,
yours. Go on.
I mean, you always, when you're playing cricket, whatever level you play, you always wish for the perfect game. And
Right.
Zimbabwe did 3 perfect games. I mean, they've batted well. I mean, Brian Bennett, you talk about, he hasn't been dismissed in this World Cup, which is no mean feat. I think Lars Klusner was the last one to do it in the 1999 World Cup here in England. And you could
Yeah.
see that he's batting throughout the whole inning, where everyone else is smashing and bashing around him, and he's just ticking away. Good scores. The bowling, blessing Zarabani, has been special. He has been very special, carrying the load for the team as a senior pro, striking when we need it, and being able to get out the crucial batters. Spin bowling has been good as well. Sikander Raza, Graham Creamer, and even Ryan Pearl. Every time he's come on as a part-timer, he's taken a very good wicket for the team. But I think one of the biggest reasons that Zimbabwe has played and won matches the way they have is their fielding. They have been so tenacious on the field. I mean, take a look at Brian Bennett's catch. Flying, he ran 19 meters to fly at the ball. Tony Munyonga's catch against Australia, flat, running forward, diving. Those are match-winning catches. The saying in cricket is catches win matches, and Zimbabwe has shown us that. And yes, the Castle Corner has been special. For those who don't know what the Castle Corner is, it's a section at Harare Sports Club where the home fans sit. They gather themselves. There's the Zimbabwe Cricket Supporters Union. They've been there for a while, but now they're showing what they're made of. They're supporting the team. They are always singing. And 5 of them managed to travel to Sri Lanka to watch the team. So they've carried that Castle Corner vibe from Harare Sports Club all the way to the Primatasa Stadium, which means the players feel at home, which means the local Zimbabweans that are there feel like they're at Harare Sports Club, which calms the nerves and which ensures that the players play to the best of their abilities, knowing that there are some people who have sacrificed their hard-earned money to come and watch them play. And wow, the Castle Corner is doing well. The cricket is being played well, and interesting and very happy times for us as Zimbabweans at the moment.
Absolutely. I'll come back to the Sikander Raza question, the guy leading from the front. But let me just get Noel David. It's time for you to feel proud and smile, John Nyembu, because you guys have done, absolutely right when it comes to fielding. Noel David, what about India? The second highest team to lose the highest number of catches, and perhaps would have been first if they lost out on the half chances. Are you disappointed with the Indian catching practice and the loss of Sridhar? More importantly, the loss of Sridhar, the fielding coach to Sri Lanka. Noel
Uh,
David, over to you.
Absolutely. As John rightly said, catches win matches. And if you don't take those half chance catches also, then you're letting your bowler down and your team down. I think the Indians need to pick it up now, because this is the stage where you can't do a single mistake. Any mistake from here, you can lose the game, and then that will backfire. I think the fielding has to come good. Yes, R has done a great job, from a standard of from some corner to a big place where the Indian team are now at present known as the best fielding side when he left. I think T Dilip also is doing a good job, but it does happen. See, being a good fielder of myself also, it happens. Crucial catches, sometimes do drop due to pressure or due to simple mistakes. But as I said before, it is how you make a comeback when you drop a catch. That's more important, because you can't be sulking into that department when you drop a catch and say, always thinking about, oh, I dropped a catch, because you're going to do the mistake again when another catch comes. So I think these guys need to understand, they are professionals. They need to understand that if a catch is dropped, you need to come back. You need to, get back into the game. But this is a part and parcel of a cricket game. Catches do uh, be dropped, but it's important that you make a comeback. And I feel that the Indian team in the Super 8 will do much better on the field. I have full faith on the side, especially with the fielding coach himself, because he does work hard with the team, and I hope that these guys will understand what is all about fielding is.
Well, I'm nodding like my colleague Vineet Malhotra does in some stages and saying, yes, we are working hard, but at the same time, we've lost 9 matches, 9 catches in the tournament. Let's move on to John Niambu again. John, you've got a traditional skipper, but suddenly you decided to get a new guy who's not a Zimbabwean, who doesn't belong to any camp. His name is Sikander Raza, and he made a very interesting statement. He said, either we have the choice of crying and saying that we are the victims, or raise our hands, stand up, and just go out and challenge the best teams in the world and get some respect for our team. Over to you. What do you think of Sikander Raza?
I think Sikander Raza has been good as a captain for Zimbabwe. I mean, he brings that belief. And just to comment on what you said, that he's not from Zimbabwe, he's not politically affiliated per se. But by virtue of him having a Zimbabwean passport, by virtue of him having stayed in Zimbabwe for so long, I met Sikander Raza for the first time in 2010. We were at high performance camp together. That's the first time I met Sikander Raza. And from then up until now, Sikander Raza has grown each and every way in his culture as a Zimbabwean, in his way of playing the game, and in his ability to try and get the best out of his players and out of the team. And we can see the fruits of that. I mean, we can take this World Cup in isolation and say, yes, Super 8. But remember, in the last T20 World Cup as well, Zimbabwe progressed to the next stage. And it's becoming a trend, especially in the T20 game, where because the game is so short, the smaller nations can get to challenge it. That's the belief that's in the Zimbabwean camp right now, that yes, you are the big guns, yes, you are India, yes, you're Australia, but in a T20 game, everything becomes equal. If you make a mistake, we'll punish you. We are always looking for those little pocket holes to get in to nail them, the bigger teams. And Sikander Raza has been marvelous. And he keeps having this statement at the post-match presentation: everyone loves an underdog story. So that's what Zimbabwe is riding on, being the underdogs and making sure that whenever they win a game, they take the underdog tag, go with it to the next game. Take the underdog tag, go with it to the next game. So it means there's no pressure on them. Yes, they are winning, but they're still remaining calm. They're still remaining humble. They're still taking each game as it comes. And above all, they are enjoying the moment, and which they rightly do deserve.
Absolutely, rightly deserve
Absolutely.
is the absolute word that you could absolutely choose. John, when was the last time you smiled so much after the cricket match and you haven't stopped it?
Yeah, man. This times come few far in between. So when we get the most of this, we have to make sure that we, especially as fans, I mean, the pressure's on the players to keep delivering, but as
Right.
fans, when we've got moments like this, we just keep on treasuring them. We just keep on reminding ourselves of
All right.
what we've been, especially from us who played before and having this much success as the current team. We just appreciate them. We're just so happy for them, and we're just supporting them all the way.
Absolutely. Of course. You've got to, later in the program, you've got to tell them what shub shub also means in Zimbabwe, but Shona as well. Let's move on to our friend Noel David. Noel, India and Zimbabwe are undefeated in the World Cup. Now,
Yeah.
India takes on the big boys, and the big boys are really big, and they are South Africans. South Africans have known the stadiums, they played in the IPL, they know the Indian mindset, and remember, they are still the team that India defeated with that catch of Surya Kumar Yadav in the final 2 years ago. The injury must be really fresh in their mind. Noel David, over to you.
Absolutely, Sunil. Absolutely. Just 2 years that has passed. That catch will be lingering because uh, the cup was in their hands, and that catch, Surya Kumar just pulled it away. I think the South Africans will never forget that. Not even in this. If you remember the World Cup in Australia, which they played, where they lost in the last ball or something, getting run out. So all this will be lingering. But let me be very honest to you, Sunil. This is not going to be easy for the Indian team in this Super 8. It's going to be a tough ride for them. They know what teams they are going to face. They have the Zimbabweans who are beaten the Australians, they beaten the Sri Lankans. So India will not take it easily against the Zimbabweans. I think they will do their homework against them. They will come with all the tactics, with all the preparation, how to go about with them, because we all know what the Zimbabweans can bring it to the ground and to the plate of the Indian team. Let's be very honest. They are at present rocking the Zimbabweans. And this game is going to be not going to be easy for the Indians. The Zimbabweans will be giving them a very very tough fight, and everyone will be glued because no big names in the oppositions. Let's be very clear, no big names in the Zimbabweans, but they know what they are coming up with. They know how to fight against the big teams. They know how to bowl against the big teams, and they proved it twice, not once. So I think the Indians will be on the edge against the Zimbabweans. When it comes to the South Africans, oh my God, this game is going to be hell a lot to watch, because the South Africans will be raring to take a revenge of the finals which they lost against the Indians. I think they have a side which all are professionals, which all are played in the Indian IPL league, so they know what the Indian condition is. They know the wickets at this time because it's peaking summer now. They know the atmosphere. So I think the game against the South Africans uh, will be glued to the TV, everybody. And I think the Indians will be sitting out there at the board with GG there, drawing out which game, which player, what is his role is. I think it's not going to be easy in the Super 8. Indians have to really, really pick up and and think about what they want to do in the Super 8.
Good. That's very eloquent, Noel David. A great departure from what he was 3 years ago on television. He's going out in the details and talking about it. But Noel, just explain us. Did you ever think India, Zimbabwe, West Indies, South Africa, same group of death, and they haven't lost a match? Did you ever expect a day would come
No,
and
not at
Australia
all.
goes back?
No, no, not at all. When I was watching the groups, I said all these guys in the group have not lost a game. So just imagine what kind of matches we are going to watch in the Super 8 now. You know, everyone, Sri Lankans, sorry, the South Africans, the Zimbabweans, the West Indies, three good sides. All right, and not to forget that we will be looking at all these teams. I think at present, so far, I've not seen such a beautiful group placed where the Indians will be thinking a lot. I won't be surprised. They must be already planning their tactics. They must be preparing themselves for each game, because it's not going to be easy. Even the West Indies are not going to be easy. The Zimbabweans is not going to be easy, and the South Africans. I think India has three good games in their hands to qualify into the semifinals.
Absolutely. Three teams. Let's move on to John Niambu. John, India has dominated all the three teams in this tournament, in this historical match of the World Cup. Do you think India has a current, a very clear edge over the other three teams, because they're going to be playing each other, and a day and time will come when you'll have to support Zimbabwe sitting in London. Your views?
Yes, going into this World Cup, everyone had said India the favorites, and even their record, where I think they've won 97% of their matches in the past ICC tournaments. I think it's in 12 or something games where they've only lost one game. So going into this, they were clearly the favorites. But now the spanner has been cast in the works, where all these teams have gained this form. South Africa has always been dangerous. We know about them. But then the West Indies as well. They are very good at playing these tournaments because they are like that dark horse that if it's their day, they can take out any bowling attack. They can bowl out any side. And it's been four consecutive games where they've played well and haven't lost. So now the balance is shifting to a parity where, yes, India have got the upper hand, one, the crowd, two, the pitch conditions, and three, being at home. But then tournaments, anything can happen. We see with Zimbabwe. They still have to turn up and play a good brand of cricket. And like Noel David says, we are going to be entertained because this is a group of 4 teams that are in form, that are playing good cricket, and that are all wanting to win. So we're guaranteed good cricket. And I think what we'll tell is whichever team panics more than the other might not go the edge. We could end up seeing maybe, with the way this group is, another South Africa-India final because they won't meet in the semi-finals. So we could have a replay of the last World Cup, which would be interesting on how that will go. But then again, there's the other group that is.
John, we also have an interesting match that is being lined up. That is Pakistan versus New Zealand. Of course, another team that wants to entertain, but has entertained all of us outside the stadium with their antics and whatever the matches and things that they've done, said and behaved. Now let's look at the match played between the two teams. Pakistan has won 5 out of the 7 matches. New Zealand wins 2. Pakistan's top performers are Sahibzada Farhan, who's the leading run scorer for Pakistan in overall tournament with 220 runs. And then Usman Tariq, the start-stop bowler, which Noel David terms him as. Shadab Khan, all-rounder. Salman Ali Agha, Abrar Ahmed. Now, what do you think of Glenn Phillips, Rachin Ravindra and Tim Sefard? Finn Allen, can they stop Pakistan in this all-important match? Because it's exciting, because the outcome will decide the final sometime later.
Yes, Pakistan is unpredictable, as Noel David rightly said earlier, but when they do turn up, they do bring it. New Zealand is more consistent. They play a good brand of cricket, very professional, just go about their work quietly. Funny enough, very few people talk about New Zealand going into any cricketing tournament, but they've been one of the most consistent nations dating back to when this tournament started. They are always in the top 8, more often than not in the semi-finals, and sneak through the finals. They've never won it, yes, but they are always there and thereabouts. So no one talks about them because they've never won it, but they've always been consistent. Pakistan need to turn up. Yes, there's been a lot of stuff that has been said outside the game of cricket by their former players, by some players, but the buck stops when you go onto the field of play. You have to turn up. Forget about what the people are saying about their stop-start bowler. Forget about what they say about Baba Azam's form. Forget about what they're saying about Shadab Khan's form, Shaheen Shah Afridi's form. When it's time for them to turn up, those big players have to make sure that they turn up because they're big match players for Pakistan. They've done it before, and they have to make sure that they carry the game for the team. New Zealand are just going to be constant good cricket. And I think that is going to be a very good tactical game that for us we're going to have to watch.
Well, absolutely. There's a lot of being said in the press. I would call it as it's a mystery of 2 son-in-laws. Noel David, you've got one son-in-law. The father-in-law says that he should be dropped because he hasn't played. Of course, we're talking about Shaheen Afridi and Shahid Afridi there. And we also have Saqlain Mushtaq's son-in-law, who's trying to talk to the other people and say that, hey, you guys have never won. We won in 2021. So, what is your view, Noel David, on the curious case of 2 father-in-laws trying to defend or omit their son-in-laws?
I think this becomes a family issue now.
You called it a family drama.
Alra, Mr. David and John Nyambu, thank you so much for joining us on the broadcast and discussing all those various aspects of the World Cup T20 World Cup that is currently ongoing. Thank you so much.